Retro.
Hi, this is Fred Tatasciore, and you're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. The Force is strong with both of them.
And I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational edition of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy's source for Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. And before we get started, Dennis, can you tell our listeners where to find us on social media?
Yeah, we are on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust.
All right. So welcome to episode 889 of Podcast Stardust. Today, we are bringing you a special monthly feature called World Between Worlds, a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. The goal is to bring you a wide variety of ideas for products to surround you, outfit you, and bind your style sense together, kind of like the Force. So we recently celebrated May the 4th as well as Mother's Day, and we're now looking forward to the summer sunshine and the starry nights ahead. There are lots of new Star Wars shopping opportunities that await, but before we bask in all the shopping glory, Dennis and I always recap any new Star Wars products we've acquired or any updates on current items we own. So, Dennis, anything new or anything new in your household that you'd like to talk about?
Nope, nothing new this month, but of course this is the calm before the storm, because with a birthday and Father's Day coming up in June, that's usually when I acquire some things. So check back with me next month and we'll see what's happened.
All right, fair enough. There you go. So I was actually very surprised and pleasantly so. I got a few things for Mother's Day from my oldest son and his fiance, and it was cute because they arrived not just in one order, they trickled them to me. So it was really fun because I got to open up something, like 3 days in a row, which was awesome. So they sent me, first of all, the Ahsoka Tano Valentine's Day Funko Pop. So this is something that we had talked about back in February or late January, as the case may be, on World Between Worlds. So this is a special limited edition Funko Pop bobblehead. And it has the, pink, white, and red motif of Ahsoka. And she's holding a cute little Valentine heart. I'm assuming full of lovely Lothal chocolates. But it's a lot of fun. So, anyone that knows Funko Pop, which I'm sure everyone does, it is in that aesthetic. And then they sent me an Ahsoka Tano tote bag. And this one is really fun. It's just like your regular everyday old tote bag, but it's got some cool features to it in that it's a higher quality canvas material, and it is listed as being scratch resistant, durable, waterproof, and it's a multifunction tote that you can use for things like cosmetics, travel, the gym, library books, etc. So it is a cream colored tote, and it has Tano in like athletic letters, so think like varsity letters type of thing. So it's got the blue with the orange outline, kind of curved over Ahsoka's headpiece, fulcrum, the whole thing in blue and white. And then on either side of that, it says EST for established 36 BBY, which I thought that was awesome. And then the Clone Wars underneath that, and those are in orange lettering. So that was a lot of fun. And I do go to the library a lot, so this is definitely going to be my library tote. So I was very excited about that. And then the third thing that they sent me, I'm so excited to be able to use to sit out on my porch on Sunday mornings, just drinking my mushroom coffee. And it is the Ahsoka series Chibi Characters 16-ounce mug. Love this one. So it's a white mug, and it has a Loth Cat on it. It has Chopper, Hera. It also has Ahsoka on it herself from the series. And then on the inside, it has the Ahsoka logo from the series imprinted like in the inside of the rim. So all three of these I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to be able to use. So yeah, so those were my gets.
Nice little collection you got there.
Yeah. And the picture that I put in our notes here is the one from, I found it on a website, and I meant to take a picture of the other side because you can't really see it. But it was so cute because the Hera, I sent a little video to them and I said, I love this so much. And there's me, because that's my Hera version from the Ahsoka series that I cosplay. So that was a heck of a lot of fun for sure. So we've got some new stuff that I'd like to cover this month. And of course, we're still on, the Andor high of, talking about the series and just ending and the whole 9 yards. And so we got to keep that Andor feeling going. And so one of the companies that we've talked about here on World Between Worlds plenty of times is the Nerf Herder Co. And they're known for their plethora of fragrance products, everything from candles to wax melts and room sprays and everything in between. So if you're talking about anything fandom wise, you got to go to the Nerf Herder Co. And definitely an extensive Star Wars line. But there's a few Andor products that she has on the site right now. And there's a line called Chandrilla. And there's a 13-ounce candle for $30. And it's absolutely beautiful. This one is in a gold vessel with a beautiful label on the front of it. And as far as the fragrance information on this one goes, the scent is mountain air and white oak with cardamom. And then other fragrance notes include ice, crisp apple, lemon zest, white oak, once again, cedar moss, cardamom, vanilla, labdanum. I don't know what that one is. It's labdanum. Not really familiar with that one. And amber, and then it's in the fresh category. So I can totally see most of those particular fragrances being put into Chandrilla, being more of a fresh fragrance kind of a thing, which is fantastic. And then there's also a new line that she just started carrying of air fresheners, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail here in just a second. But all the air fresheners are $8 a piece. Once again, same fragrance notes on that one. And then there's also a clamshell of wax melts that are available as well with the Chandrilla scent. So all the wax melts that are on the site are also $8 a piece. So you can really put together a nice little collection on these. All the shipping is about 5 to 7 business days following order placement. And she has a rewards program where you can, build up some points and use those towards for future purchases and so on and so forth. So then there's actually also an Andor scent collection as well, which includes all three of what I was just talking about with the candle, the wax melts, and the air fresheners. And on the Andor scent, the fragrance information is musk and sandalwood with bergamot, cypress, lavender, musk, orange, cedarwood, sage, and then it's considered a strong cologne scent. So if you are looking for something like that, then you can look that one up on the website as well. And this one is in a kind of a darker brown, I want to say like a leather brown color for the cylinder on this one, with a nice, sticker that goes on the outside that it's got the Andor symbol, and it looks very, very gritty kind of thing. So yeah, so it's almost like a beautiful cologne for Cassian himself. So the other air fresheners, this is something new. And I know that when Nerf Herder Co was talking about doing a new line, this was something that she had considered doing. And so the air fresheners themselves, just a little bit about them, they are in sort of a little, almost like a fragrance bottle. And there's a very, very specific way to utilize these. And so if you go on the website, she gives a very specific detail on how to do it. So you have to screw off a wooden cap, remove a clear plastic stopper, and then tightly screw the wooden cap back on and either tilt the bottle upside down to saturate the cap or carefully shake the bottle to saturate the cap. Then you remove the wooden cap and replace the plastic stopper to prevent leaking. screw on the wooden cap again, and then choose where you would like to hang the air freshener, and then tie the strings according to your desired length. And the strings themselves look like hoodie strings. They have, the little, I can't help but to call them flugel binders, because there was an old movie with Tom Cruise that they called them flugel binders, but I know they're called aglets on the end of those. So you can, hang those on your rearview mirror, or, wherever you want to do that. And so the other ones that she has available right now are called The Ghost. So of course we're talking Star Wars Rebels here. And this one is aged leather, clove, bergamot, geranium, leather, rosemary, oak moss, patchouli, clove, tobacco. And then the scent is very strong. And then the other one is the Lothal. And on the Lothal, this one is, and once again, these are all $8 a piece. The Lothal fragrance information is rich, earthy oak and vanilla with greenery and other fragrance notes. So yeah, so lots coming out of the Nerf Herder Co. And once again, you have to check everything out, because she really has an amazing array of different types of products and scents here. And if you just go to the link in our show notes, you can indulge in all of the things. So what do you think of these new fragrances and products?
Oh, I'm sure they're fantastic, like everything else she does, is that I'm not really good at building together a scent profile by thinking about all these things together. I mean, sure. I mean, bergamot, I have no idea what that is. But some of the others that I do, obviously I know what an orange smells like and like that, but these look fantastic. So
yeah,
good on her.
Yeah, I'm really tempted to get the Chandrilla to hang in my rearview mirror, because I think that would be great in a car. A nice fresh scent in a car. But yeah, I can't see myself as if it was a spray, like a fragrance spray to wear. I don't know if I want to wear that one, but I guess it just depends on how it mixes with your own body chemistry, but who knows? So if you're looking for something else, Andor, that is a little less on the fragrance side and more on the apparel side, there's another Etsy store that we've mentioned here on World Between Worlds before, called ChewbakahCrates. And she has a t-shirt on her Etsy store, and it's a brown t-shirt, and it simply has in Star Wars font, "I have friends everywhere." And then it has the Andor symbol in red. So this one is selling for $25 on Chewbacca's Etsy store once again. And it's basically a canvas shirt, just like your typical t-shirt type of thing. And it's a 100% combed and ring spun cotton. And you can, once again, just pick those up on Etsy, and that link will be in our show notes. So I was trying to find a couple of different Andor things to throw in there, like I said, since we just ended the series. But I know there's tons of things out there, but I just love that we have friends everywhere. That's a line that stuck with me.
Oh, yeah.
So moving on, we've got some stuff for summer. And so Diff Eyewear has just put out a new line of sunglasses. And then there's some really good ones that they have. There's a Luke X-Wing and a Darth Vader that are both available right now. These are a little bit on the pricey side, though. So if you're not afraid to indulge a little bit, I guess you get what you're paid for too, though. But the Luke X-Wing 2.0 and the Darth Vader are both $134. And basically, both of these are polarized sunglasses. I really like the Luke X-Wing, though, because I'm just very partial to orange. But it's got a nice, reflective view to the outside of it. And it's got a lot of specific details. For example, it has X-Wing fighter helmet detail to it. It features Star Wars and Aurebesh at the top of the lenses. It's basically following the T65 X-Wing classification look, and it has the stamp on the arms, the Rebel Alliance icon at the temples, and the lenses are classified as fiery lenses that evoke the battles in space that you'll always stay cool in these sunglasses. So they're considered oversized, but they do have a UV rating of 100%, blocking out UVA and UVB rays. They are polarized, like I said, and they are premium scratch resistant polymer. So once again, these are available for $134 on the website, And they are not available for prescription online with these, but they can be fit with prescription lenses by a local optician. So if you need help finding the right size for you, they do have reference face widths on the website to see what suits your face best. So they have different frame measurements and so on and so forth that you can go with there. So they, like, once again, they have the Luke, and then they also have the Darth Vader for $134 as well. And as you can guess, these are darker lenses. And what's cool, really cool about these as well is that just like with the Luke Skywalker lenses, these have some really great detail to them. So they have a matte black striping that evokes the helmet and suit, the Imperial icon on the arms, and Darth Vader across the top in Aurebesh at the top of the lenses, so you can embrace your destiny with these. So there's a few other types of sunglasses on the Diff site as well. These are just a couple of those. They do have a Padme Amidala. They do have a Luke Skywalker X-Wing, and both of those are kind of the more of the aviator style type. And then they also have the Darth Maul and the Darth Vader 3.0 on the website as well as the Kylo Ren. And so there's a few others like the Princess Leia, the Anakin. These have been on there for a while, so I know we've talked about these before. I actually have the C-3PO sunglasses that they have on the website, and I have to figure out where I put those. I know they're somewhere in my bedroom, but I'm looking through the website. I'm like, wait a second, I have those. So I'll have to pull those out, and they're a lot of fun to wear. The only thing I don't like about the 3PO ones that I have is that I like to put my sunglasses like on my head. And so the little nose things that are on the swivels, they end up getting caught in my hair. So I like the style, like the Fennec Shand ones that they have on here, and the Kylo Ren and the other ones that we just talked about, because they don't have that. So they don't get caught in my hair. But that's just a problem that I have. I can get over that though.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah, they're always clever here. Just kind of the bounding aspect that they have for all these characters and envisioning sunglasses for them there. The Queen Amidala ones are, I'm not even sure what to call that style, but it looks like something like out of the 50s or 60s, the way they created those. But interesting looking sunglasses. These are fun.
Yeah, that's a good call too. And that's one thing I do like about Diff is that they have so many different styles available that whatever type of aesthetic you're into or whatever kind of look you're into, chances are you can blend your Star Wars style with that style and you can find something you like. So yeah, once again, the link for that will be in our show notes, and Dennis does a great job of putting those together. So it'll be easy for you to find. All right, moving on, we have one of our favorites here in Heroes and Villains brand, and they have an entire summer collection. They call it the Summer Essentials collection on their website. And a few of the things that really caught my eye and that's super in style right now are the wide leg pants that I'm seeing so many people wearing. And I'm too short for these. I guess maybe I should give them a shot again, but I always feel like my legs are way too short for these things. They look so great on taller people. So basically they have a nice wide elastic waistband with a drawstring. And then, as the name suggests, they have wider legs. They have a couple of different styles available. So there's what's called the Mandalore wide leg pants, and these sell for $75. And these are kind of a green, spectrum of different colors, from really light green all the way to super dark green. And they have more of almost like an Aztec look to the motif, but it has the mythosaur skull on them. And they do have a versatile side tie at the mid calf, which I think is interesting. And then a side slit on both legs, a single back pocket, and they are 100% rayon. So if you flip through some of the pictures on here, you can see how they fit, some of the details on these. And, there's some beading on the drawstring and so on and so forth. They look really comfy and airy, but like I said, I'm always kind of shy to buy some of these wide leg pants, but at any rate, they also have what's called a Jedi wide leg pant, and the sizes on these do run from extra small up to 3X. So you can find a style to your fitting. So the Jedi wide leg pants, these are more of an aqua color with a burgundy at the waistband. And again, these sell for $75 a piece. And then the other set that they have online for the wide leg pants are called the Ahsoka. So of course, these are right up my alley, but these are really light cream. And on these, they have the detail of a blue design that goes throughout. And again, the wide waistband with the drawstring, which is really nice. But I think what's interesting about the Ahsoka is that it's more almost like fern leaves
Yeah.
than Ahsoka's markings. So this is definitely a stretch for me in terms of, yes, the leaves themselves do look like Ahsoka's head tail markings, but they're really not her head tails. So that one's kind of a stretch for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've clicked on one of the other images. It's a close up, and then they do have the Ahsoka. What is it? The
Oh, the
head pattern.
fulcrum.
Yeah, the fulcrum
Yeah.
pattern on there. So that's clearly her. And I'm with you. It took me a second because I was about to make. I was like, hey, if you didn't know these were Star Wars, there's no way you'd know they were Star Wars if you were wearing them up there. But once I saw that, I was like, okay, that's a bit more than those. But it is small. It is subtle. At least on the internet, it looks that way. The colors are very faded looking or light looking compared to being a bold print. So it's we've talked about this before on all these things, that sometimes you want the subtle Star Wars touch as opposed to something big and bold, depending on where you're going to wear it. And all of these would seem to fit that bill.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think honestly, the only one that I don't want to even say that it screams Star Wars, but it looks definitely more recognizable is the Mandalore because of the mythosaur skull.
Yeah, but even then
yeah.
it has the yes, I agree with you. It is the one that stands out the most, but with it being part of a pattern, I think it's something that unless people were staring at it, they wouldn't necessarily pick it up, but just in casually.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm totally with you on that one. Absolutely. So yeah, there's so many other things though to choose from on the summer essentials with heroes and villains. They do have what they call sun shirts, and there's several different styles that I'll run through really quickly. But the sun shirts themselves actually have a 50 plus UPF sun protection built into them. So you look at them on the website and you're like, why are all of these long sleeve shirts listed in their summer essentials? But then you're like, oh, okay. It's because they're actually providing additional sunscreen, essentially. So there's 5 of them available. So there's a Jedi Master, a Mandalore, an Ahsoka, one called Rebel, and then one called Andor. And so there's various colors and markings and things available. So essentially they're long sleeve shirts, and then across the front they have the different designs, and then also down the sleeves in some cases as well. So each one of those sell for $55 and are available in extra small up to 4X sizes. Some of those sizes are currently sold out. So if you have your heart set on one of those, you'll have to double check to make sure that the sizes are in fact available. And then some other things that they have in their summer essentials are some slides. So they have some Rebel Velcro slides, Rebel Alliance, as well as Warrior of Mandalore, and then a couple of bucket hats. So there's an Imperial Gray camo bucket hat. I love that one, by the way. And then there's a Mandalore bucket hat that is also green and yellow, some cargo shorts, and some print button-down shirts. So lots and lots of things in the Summer Essentials collection for heroes and villains to choose from. So if you are in need of a, closet refresh, that's definitely someplace to head.
Indeed.
And then, next on our list is, thanks to you, Dennis, a link that I included in our notes this time around. And this is the TT Racing Company. And they have several different gaming chairs available that are Star Wars licensed products. And so these are ergonomic gaming chairs, and they're brand new and they are limited. So there's 3 different chairs, or actually more than 3 different chairs. There's several different chairs available in lots and lots of different styles. So there is an Imperial edition, as well as one called a Hero in the Shadow, and that one's based on R2-D2. There's one called the Grogu edition, and so of course this one's based on our buddy Grogu. the Mandalorian Legacy. This one is more of a grayish, really light gray with brown. And then there's the Disney 100th anniversary limited edition Star Wars collectors, and this one's more of a Starfield background with some white detail as well. And then there's a Ergonomics from the Dark Side, which is a lovely stormtrooper motif. So it's white with some black trim and then the Imperial cog. And then there's one that just screams Darth Vader, and it's called Extravagant Comfort from Space, which is all black. And they do call it the Max Darth Vader edition, that offers a unique feeling of comfort forged from the farthest reaches of space. So there's all of those that are available. And when you click the Shop Now button, they are on sale from $709 down to $579. And they have free shipping site-wide, which is wonderful. So if you're needing an ergonomic game chair, lots and lots to pick from there. And they're really nice looking chairs. I'm telling you, I'm loving just looking through all of these. Did you have a favorite one on these?
Wow. It's kind of a toss-up, I think. Every time I keep changing my mind here. The prices do vary on some of those chairs from what you were talking about. There's a few that are more expensive than that one down there, but plus or minus $100. But the Mandalorian one's pretty cool, and I also like the Darth Vader one. But wow, yeah, I found this link on Instagram. It was an ad that I scrolled past. I was like, oh, I wonder if Jay's seen these, and I hadn't even had a chance to look on their website yet. But yeah, these are pretty sweet.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. And they do have some floor pads available too. So if you need a floor pad to go underneath them, there's a few different options available. So they have the Star Wars, they call it Guardian Gaming floor pad for $99. And this one has the, traditional logo with black and some schematics on it. And then they also have one for $149. And this one has more of the like the red and the blue with the cog on it, and then the rebel symbol on it as well. And then there's also one that it's the Stormtrooper edition for $99, and this one's white with the Stormtrooper kind of in profile and the Imperial cog as well. So there's some really fun floor pads too that you can get. So if you're needing a floor pad, maybe you don't want to invest in the chair, maybe that's a good place to start.
Indeed, yes.
Yeah. So on the Disney store, there's a ton of new items as well. And so a lot of these came out right around May the 4th. So essentially, if you go to disneystore.com and you just search for Star Wars, anything that they have, with the green font that says new, there's lots. So they have the new Padme Amidala headband, and this is the one that she's wearing, her like nightgown with the pearls, the blue, on Coruscant when she and Anakin are reunited. And they have new mugs, they have new tumblers. There's even some new Crocs. There's Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary. Well, they call them clogs, so they're not the officially licensed Crocs, but that's what they remind me of. And then they have a few new t-shirts. They have a Shin Hati and Baylan Skull lightsaber hilt set. There is a new shirt and line by Ashley Eckstein. There's Princess Leia, kind of a half shirt that's pink. And then they also have, just basically tons of other stuff on the website. There's some other new mouse ears, some denim jackets that are really cool looking. And, the list goes on and on and on. The one that actually caught my eye, it's a Star Wars pullover crew. And it's kind of an aqua color, but it's more ombre. So it starts lighter aqua at the top, and then it turns to a darker aqua towards the bottom. And it's got some fun cartoon images of a lot of our favorite Star Wars characters. So things like stormtroopers, then it has Darth Vader and Luke squaring off with their lightsabers towards the center, R2-D2, Leia and Han with his blaster, Chewie up in the corner, and then Yoda as well. And then in the background are some images of TIE fighters and an X-Wing. And then there's some white stars kind of here and there and shooting stars. And I just thought this one was really cute. So that was the one that caught my eye, my choice for the website. But did you have any favorites of these new releases?
I was amused by the been there Starbucks mugs for Kashyyyk and Geonosis and Tatooine and the like. Those made me smile. I mean, I collect coffee mugs, but it's I try and keep it more personal, places that I've actually been and stuff like that. And I
Mm-hmm.
have been collecting that Starbucks line, but the fact that they put those out there just makes me giggle a little bit.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, there's so many different products out there. So, yeah, once again, just check out that link in our show notes and maybe you'll find something for yourself that you can add to your collection. And so I picked out a couple of other fun things since, it's always fun for me to think about upgrading my outdoor space or just, going out on the deck or the patio from year to year. And this one, I saw this on Instagram. Somebody had posted that they found this. So if you're looking to upgrade your outdoor space to something that is, Star Wars looking, while this is not licensed or sold as Star Wars, Home Depot has a screen panel for sale that looks very much like something right out of an Imperial Star Destroyer interior. So if you go to the Home Depot website and you search for Barrett Outdoor Living, there is this panel that you'll get taken to that is just, again, it's a black panel. They call it an optic black polypropylene decorative screen panel. And you can buy these, in sections, and they're 3 feet by 6 feet. And you can, combine them to, make yourself a little fenced in area, so to speak. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is totally Star Wars. And I see people online that have tried to make these themselves out of like either foam or using like a laser cutter or whatever on wood and then having to paint them. And it's like, oh, okay, for $113.57, you can just go to Home Depot and find one of these. But doesn't it look like just like it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was floored.
It
Somebody at
seems
Home
like,
Depot, yeah, they must be a Star Wars fan.
I was gonna say, yeah, they got their inspiration. Looks like from watching the movies. So
Heck yeah, I would totally use this in my yard if I had space to do so. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, Home Depot, who knew? And then if you want something to greet your visitors during the summer on your walkway or in your front garden, Bradford Exchange actually has a Star Wars Master Yoda welcome sign with a solar powered light inside of it. So this is fully licensed and it's 14 inches tall and it's a dimensional indoor or outdoor welcome sign and it lights up with a built-in light sensing solar panel. So this is on sale for $149 on the Bradford site. It's not super tall, but it's really cool because it's got Yoda standing there. Almost looks like he must be on Dagobah. And then the welcome is vertical with the O as the rebel symbol. And then the sign itself is kind of engulfed in these vines and things from Dagobah. So it's all hand painted. And it's got some intricate detailing on it and it's very unique. So if you're into things like that, that is definitely something that you want to check out on Bradford Exchange.
yeah, they put out nice stuff, and that would be a interesting addition to the collection.
Yes, as General Grievous would say, a fine addition to my collection. So to wrap things up this time around on World Between Worlds, I don't have a destination. I know we've been doing that the last couple of times, but I did find something pretty darn extravagant that, for the Star Wars fan that has everything and also has some pretty good disposable income, you can get your own helper droid. So there's a company called Piaggio Fast Forward, and they have a mini droid, and then it's called the G1T4-M1N1. And on the front of it, it has the name Gita, Gita, but it's a friendly, dependable, and eager to please helper droid who is ready to assist you. And it's equipped with cameras and sensors that allow it to identify its leader and follow them with ease. And it has a cargo bin that can hold up to 20 pounds of gear, making it the perfect sidekick to help you take on your day or to follow you into battle. So it has kind of like a lime green and gray motif is the best way that I can put it. But, it's very reminiscent of, some of the markings of like an astromech droid and the like. And it has these circular wheels on it that follow you around. And if you go to the website, it does show videos of the little droid following you and the different noises that it makes. And it does come with the My Geta app that you can do things like check the distance that you've traveled with your droid, its battery level, and more. And it receives over-the-air updates through the app based on user feedback. So it's always getting smarter. So it's kind of like an AI little droid as well. So if you have $2,875 laying around, you can get your own little droid, or you can start at $100 a month with a firm. And you can see if you qualify. So I don't even know why this popped up on my line other than, being a Star Wars fan and all of the sponsored ads that we get. But it also has these little personalized custom light patterns that you can program in, and it communicates its current state. So it's whether it's resting, following you, or charging, you always know what its status is going to be. So it's cute, but what do you think?
It's cute, but completely impractical at that price for me.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. I was playing down with the options here. And so this looks like, and yeah, they skinned something that they already had to make it look more Star Wars. And that's great and all. Could be fun if I had stupid money, but I don't right now. So no disrespect to anyone who has one of these, but it just is... it looks like a very expensive toy that would be fun to play with. But if I want a droid, I can, not one that's necessarily going to carry anything for me, but I can find cheaper alternatives elsewhere.
No, I totally agree with you. It's fun to think about getting something like this, though. It has 7 hours of continuous travel, so it can travel up to 21 miles, and it charges in less than 2 hours. Oh, here's the name of the color. They call it Spark, Citron, and Boardwalk Beige.
Yeah.
Is the color combination on this one. But again, you can check that out at PiaggioFastForward.com. Wow. We've got droids in our lives for real now. Look at that.
That's right.
All right. So on that note, we will wrap up this month's World Between Worlds. So thank you all for joining us for episode 889 of Podcast Stardust and this episode of World Between Worlds. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if so, please make sure to subscribe to Podcast Stardust on your podcatcher of choice. And also like to remind you that you can find all episodes of the podcast on retrozap.com. RetroZap is also home to several other great podcasts covering everything from the MCU, DC, Dune, and Star Trek, and a whole lot more. And as always, we greatly appreciate a 5-star rating and reviews on whatever podcatcher you use, and especially on Apple Podcasts. That one just seems to help bump us up that algorithm. But please share the show and your favorite your favorite episodes on social media as well. Speaking of which, Dennis, what are those social media contacts one more time?
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. We have a page over on Pinterest. The shows are available on YouTube in both the video and podcast format. And then you can find our store over at TeePublic. I'll have a link in the show notes. And we have our various different logo designs available for everything from stickers to t-shirts and more. So yeah, you can find all that stuff over there. Jay, you want to remind everybody what's going on in cosplay?
Sure. So once again, you can always catch me on my Instagram, which is at j.snipscosplay. And you never know what kind of cosplay adventures I'm going to be up to as Ahsoka, the Fourth Sister, Hera, my original concept Mandalorian, and lots more. So upcoming on the show, we have this coming Friday, our news episode. And then on Monday, we are getting back into Tales of the Underworld, featuring our episodes of Cad Bane. And then on Wednesday, we have another edition of our Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary segment breakdown discussion. So with that, thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. And until next time, may the force of Star Wars faction and lifestyle be with you.